film breakdown video analysis on how Todd Monken can get the offensive personnel raised up and improved pretty quickly. So Lance, take us through it. It's a 3-part thing. What's number one on your list here?
Well, they got to get out there and they got to get some interior linemen. They got to make sure they have some centers and guards. So you're going to see right here, here's Linderbaum. He's blocking back. He's number 69 on the right of your screen, 64. He's the center from Baltimore. He's a guy that I think can really help this team. Very aggressive. He also knows Todd Monken scheme. Here you have Tevin Jenkins, who I thought was intriguing. Big guy, can pull, can do some things. So this is a guy on the Browns roster that I think can be a guy. And then a guy no one talks about is KT Levinston. I know he's a turnstile at tackle, but inside at guard, this is a guy who likes to maul people. He played guard in college, and I think he's a guy who can do it. So again, you're going to see the center, Linderbaum, blocking back here. He's really good in space. He's really good at getting to the next level. Todd Monken likes to run a lot of different schemes, both gap and zone schemes. Linderbaum can kind of be the voice or the coach's voice on the field in Monken's new scheme with Schweitzer and obviously Warhop, who is brought in as well. This KT Levinston, I tell you what, his mistakes came from inability to play tackle. Nothing with this guy. He's always giving great effort. He's a great guy. He's just got to get down inside the guard. And I think he's a guy that can be a rotational guy at guard because he won't be on there in an island in pass protection. So, again, they're going to have to address some of these things in free agency as well. But I think a couple of the guards on their roster, and then maybe Zach Zinner at some point too. I just haven't seen it out of him at the practice field yet. But they got to get better inside on the offensive line and inside first.
Yeah, that kind of was one of the questions as I'm listening to you. How important are those 3 guys in the middle? And Linderbaum's a free agent, so he's probably one of the top free agent offensive linemen, if not the top free agent offensive lineman on the market. But the guards in the center, how important is that, not only to Todd Monken, but any offense?
Well, the first and foremost is if you're going to establish a power running game, you got to have guys inside that can double team. You got to have some guys that can climb to the second level. You got to have guys who are big, fast, strong, can move, can pull, can reach, can down block. They just have to do so much inside. But there's a level of besides scheme and fundamentals, there's a level of nastiness if you want to be a power run game that starts with the center and the guards. The center's got to control things. The center's got to make sure protections are set. A center can really help a young quarterback understanding protections. He can also understand the fronts, blitzes, odd front, even front, etc. So the guys inside set the tone physically, and they set the tone in understanding what the defense is doing.
All right, so point 2 in it, still along the offensive line, tackles. What are you thinking there?
Well, I think they got to get 2 horses. They got to get some guys out here. So Maui Noah, the kid from Miami, and Fano, the kid from Utah. These are guys that are movers. And as this play keeps going on, I just want to see their punch. And as you watch their film, a couple things stand out. It's consistency from snap to snap. They have really light feet for big guys over 300 pounds. They're incredibly violent with their hands. They're consistently good on every play, both in the run game and in the pass game. So interior-wise, I'd like to see the Browns get some veterans, guys who are 25 to 30 years old, grown men inside, Linderbaum and Jenkins and these guys. And then on the outside, I'd like them to get some elite athletes, some guys who are warranted of being a top 10 pick. A lot of people like Maui Noah better. I like Fano the best, but either one are outstanding in what they do. They need an anchor tackle. They got to assume DeJuan Jones is going to come back healthy, and can he do it? They still need an anchor left tackle for the next 10 to 15 years. Those are easier to say than they are to get. But I think both of these guys, it's a pretty good tackle draft, in my opinion. Not terrible. There's also a guy named Gunnar Jenkins, a kid out of Iowa, who's just a killer, had a great Senior Bowl. He could play all along the line. They just got to get younger and tougher and more violent up front, kind of what they did in the Nick Chubb heyday.
So the question becomes, you mentioned the tackles get paid in any offense. The tackles are the guys that are high priced. That's strictly from a physical skill set, because you're asking a 315, 20-pound guy to be able to move his feet quickly and cover more space, correct?
Absolutely. So if You can think of it this way: if you lack the athleticism, they're going to move you down inside. That lateral movement, if you see those tackles kick back, those kick steps in true pass protection, you got to be able to kick back and try to block somebody like Myles Garrett. And you have to be a heck of an athlete to do that. You also have to be physical in the run game, get to the second level, down block, double team. Just the athleticism that it takes to play that tackle. You're blocking the absolute units and creatures of the NFL. These guys who are just so big, fast, and strong, and you're out there on an island by yourself. And the Browns don't have that on the roster right now. DeJuan Jones, I believe, is a right tackle after watching him play more and more. They need an elite tackle with elite physical skills out there on the left side.
And the flip side of it is DeJuan Jones hasn't made it through an entire NFL season healthy yet. So you have to. We went through that last year where they were counting on guys and nobody was healthy.
Yeah, you got to get healthy. You know, for DeJuan Jones, for me, his health all comes down. I thought he did a great job. Now, there's some injuries you can't help. I thought last year he came into camp looking so much more physically fit. That whole offensive line did. They really did early on. DeJuan Jones has got to continue to watch his weight. He's got to continue to work on that lower body. When you're that hot, when you're that tall, you got to be able to bend. You got to be able to get yourself. Now, he has all the athleticism. That's why people think he can play left tackle as well. So he has a big thing for him is health and 1-2. And if he has those two, he's a pretty good tackle.